Hey guys, Jonty Hikmet here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to do a quick run through of what happens when people give up in this process. If you're watching this and you've started the process to getting relief from pain and maybe you've given up, hopefully you're watching this for some encouragement and some advice about what to do. If you're watching this and you're in the process and you're preemptively thinking maybe you'll give up at some point, whatever it is, this video is for you. It's very common that people will start this process in some way and then just give up at some point. So this video is intended to help people not do that and what to do in those moments when it does feel like they need to give up. So you may not be able to read this, as always. I'll just read this out. My handwriting isn't so great. But it says at the top, when people give up plus what to do. This is what I'm going to be going over in this video. So what it says here is it says when. When do people usually give up? In the first 1 to 3 months, when we start this pain relief process, particularly the one that I'm talking about, we learn to meditate, we learn to journal, we're asking lots of questions, we're learning new information. There will be a lot of new information coming at us. At first, we're very excited about it. The thrill of a new process initially is coming at us, and then at some point in the first 1 to 3 months, that all wears off. At some point, the reality of the process, which I'm going to speak about in a bit, hits home. So in the first 1 to 3 months, people will usually find that at some point, and they'll go, God, maybe this process isn't working for me. You know, maybe this method isn't for me after all. Not only could it happen in the first 1 to 3 months, but it can also happen throughout. When I say throughout, it can happen, you know, month 5 on a Tuesday. It can happen, you know, after a year at some point. Not that, again, you're going to be in the same place after a year. Hopefully you've made some progress after a year, but there are going to be moments when it's going to feel like you are going to give up or going to want to give up. Usually happens in the first 1 to 3 months after the initial high of a process fades out, but it can also happen throughout. It can also happen when we felt better, so we stop. This is very common. People start to go, you know what, my pain's not as bad. I'm not going to meditate as much. I'm not going to being in the communities as much. I'm just going to stop really thinking about my health. And then what will happen is symptoms will suddenly start coming back and they go, oh no, what have I done wrong? It's just because you've stopped utilizing all the tools. So it's a bit of a nuance there, but I still thought that I would say it. So if this is you, if you're watching this, you're in the first 1 to 3 months, or maybe you're a bit longer into the process, you feel like giving up, you feel like it's not working for you, it's very common, happens to the best of us. Why does it happen? It's because this is the reality of the process. It's up and down. The reality of the process is up and down. You are going to have good days. You're going to have not so good days. You're going to feel like everything is working the one day, and then you're going to be sitting and meditating, and it's going to feel like there's more pain. It's going to feel like there's bigger emotions coming in. And this is the reality of the process. It is up and down. And just saying that alone is like intellectualizing that and understanding that isn't the same as actually experiencing being 6 weeks into this process and having a down moment. You know, I can tell you here you're going to have setbacks, but until you actually experience them, you're not going to realize how demoralizing they can feel. It really feels like, God, maybe this isn't for me. Even though I've told you there's going to be down moments, and this is the reality of the process, you still may find yourself right now in that down moment going, this isn't for me, I guess I need to give up. So yes, the reality of the process is it's up and down, and we don't really fully prepare for that until we go through it. Another reason that people may give up is because of unforeseen life challenges, a bereavement, change of work, just something is distracting us away from the pain relief process in some way, and it's taking us away. You know, it's okay that happens. Life can do that to us. It's a reason that people could be giving up. But if you're watching this, I assume that you're wanting to get back on doing this process. So if you have gone through some sort of unforeseen life challenge, I'm really sorry to hear. It's difficult for all of us when we go through these moments, but you're here right now because I'm assuming you want to get back on it, and I'm here to help you with that. So that's another reason why you may have given up. I've written here as well what I said before. The initial high of a new process goes away within the first couple of months. Suddenly it feels like the process is an incorrect fit. But what I'm trying to say here is it's not linear. The process isn't linear. So it is going to be up and down. We are going to wake up in days, and yeah, it's going to feel more difficult than on other days. What I've put here with the why of how we don't quite understand what it means to have a setback until we're experiencing it. It's something else I wrote here. It's something that came up for me when I was going through my own pain relief process, is that we expect things to be easy and to be comfortable, because certainly in the society that I grew up in the UK, it's called a nanny state. So you are looked after in ways that you don't realize. Like, we have all of our basic needs met. We have beds to sleep in and food to eat, and it's just all just there for us whenever we need it. And we constantly expect things to be easy and comfortable. We haven't actually been given any like major adversity. Obviously, watching this, you may have gone through lots of trauma, and that is certainly adversity. But this process is meant to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable. And if you're anything like me, when it got uncomfortable and when it got hard, it was very easy for me to go, I guess this isn't working. Because I've been conditioned to believe that something was only effective if it was easy in some way. That may not be coming up for you, but I know that was certainly coming up for me when I felt like giving up once upon a time. It wasn't easy and it wasn't comfortable, and I thought, I guess this process isn't going to work then. If it's not those things, more likely to give up. So this is the when it usually happens. It can happen in the first 1 to 3 months. It may also happen throughout any given stage. It can happen if we felt better for a while and then stopped all the tools. Why it happens is because the reality of the process is up and down. This is just, and we don't expect the down to happen, or at least we don't know what it's going to feel like to go through the setback until it happens. So it feels like we need to stop doing it. So there could be other whys. Maybe you're watching this and you have some other why that I haven't thought of just yet, but that's what I've written so far. Let's get into the meat of this presentation, the what to do section. What to do when we feel like we've given up. Again, you may not be able to read this, but I'm going to read the whole thing through. So what to do. The most important thing that I say in all these videos is community is the most important thing. You may be watching this in my community. If so, you've got us here for support and guidance. If you're watching this on YouTube, I urge you to have some sort of community. The reason why community is so important, I mean pain relief communities, is because you'll get the support of what to do in those moments when you feel like giving up. You'll get the guidance of what to do in those moments. And more importantly, it's normal to want to give up sometimes. The emotions of wanting to give up, let's say despair, some doubt, some confusion, in this process, we're learning to acknowledge and allow any emotion that's arising for us, even the emotions we're not supposed to feel. So in society, when you give up and you feel despair and you feel confused, people will say, don't feel despair, don't feel confused, you can do this. It's all wonderful, like cheerleader approach to helping us. But in this process, we're learning to be okay with the fact that despair is coming up. We're learning to be okay with the fact that we're finding something difficult and we're doubting it or confused, because those emotions are also welcome. I've done lots of videos about the fact that we're learning to allow lots of different states of being, even the ones we're not supposed to feel. And by doing that, we teach our nervous system that it's okay that I'm having a difficult moment. And to have a community where we're able to support that, to have a community where we're able to vent in a supportive space and get accountability to keep going, that's super important. To go to a community and be able to go, I really feel like giving up, I really feel like this is not for me. And rather than the community leaders saying, come on, you can do it, we can get through this, they say, okay, let's speak about these emotions. It's fair to feel this way. They, validate the fact that you're going through this, and they validate your emotions in that moment. To be able to vent that and to have support, and then to get accountability to keep going. You'll get some guidance about, okay, you're feeling all of this, I get it, it's normal. What do you need from me? Usually a community leader will say, and other members will also say, what do you need from us? What support do you need? So what to do? Be in some sort of community. If you're in my one right now and you're going through the I feel like giving up moment, immediately get over to the community forum and start writing everything you're feeling about why you want to give up. And it's okay. Really don't hold back. Really just say anything you want to say. This isn't for me. I don't think it's going to work. Whatever it is, I'm here for you. Community. Next thing. What to do is, it's just to recognize that it's meant to be hard. So again, you may not be able to read this. This says meant to be hard. On the previous page, I wrote about how we expect things to be easy. You get symptoms in the first place. So pain in the body or in the mind, because of an inability to allow discomfort. So healing will require you to allow this to get hard. So it's about recognizing that this process, when you feel like giving up and you start feeling all these emotions of hopelessness and despair, those are the very emotions that you need to learn how to be okay feeling. Because we get symptoms in the first place because we're not allowing ourselves to feel discomfort. We're not allowing ourselves to feel hopelessness and fear and frustration. That may seem so strange to you watching this. You may go, surely I've got to get out of hopelessness and despair. That is one part of the equation where we eventually arrive in a place of more trust and confidence. But in the meantime, if we do feel despair and we do feel hopeless, these emotions are hard and they're meant to be, and we're meant to learn how to allow them. We're meant to learn how to validate that, the fact that we're feeling it, in some sort of supportive community. There's so many posts in the community where people are talking about how difficult this has been and how they want to give up, and just constantly I'm there to tell them, yeah, feel these emotions, it's great. Let yourself just be in this. It's safe to feel these things. And what you find when you allow yourself to feel difficulty, your nervous system goes, okay, Jonty's letting himself feel these emotions. We're going to give him the space to now feel the next emotions. We're going to give him the space. When you allow yourself to feel things like despair and hopelessness and don't try to fight yourself, you notice a relief that can get created out of that. So it's meant to be hard. The process is meant to be hard, and a lot of people don't realize that it's meant to be. You get symptoms in the first place because you don't let yourself feel the difficulty. And now it gets difficult. It's exactly where you need to be. You need to be in a place where you want to give up, and you need to have support to learn how to allow the emotions that come with that. Meant to get hard. We're learning new skills. I often relate the pain relief process to learning a language. You know, if you're learning a difficult language, Mandarin, French, whatever it is, you won't in the first 3 months get it right. You will feel like you're doing really well, and then you'll be at the train station asking for directions and get it completely wrong, you know, in the other language. So we have to remember that we're learning a lot of new skills here, and there's going to be good days and bad days. So it's just reminding ourselves of that, and again, checking in with the community about that. Let's get to the next point. It's about reminding yourself what to do, that this is lifelong. Some days will be harder than others. Create non-negotiables. So this is what's typical of this process. You learn something like meditation. It's very difficult at first, and slowly you start to get it. And then you have a day maybe where you're like, wow, I really allowed things to be here in the first time ever, and fear was really big and difficult, but I let it be there, and then it dissipated. It was amazing. And then a week later, and then you really think you've made progress. And then a week later, you're sitting and meditating, and it all feels like you're back to square one. You can't sit with your fear. The pain is bigger than ever. All of a sudden, it's like, oh wow, I thought I made all this progress. Not only am I back to square one, but it feels like I've gone backwards. And this is why some days will be harder than others. And it's in those moments where people usually go, I'm giving up, this is really difficult. But what they don't realize is that despair and hopelessness in that moment is also an emotion that they can feel. And you really have to treat each day in a new way. Each meditation is going to be its new thing entirely. If you grasp for old meditations and you don't let yourself feel the hopelessness and the despair and the fear and whatever it is in that moment, you will give up. You will really be convinced by these voices. You have to recognize this as lifelong. Some days will be harder than others. Another thing, a bit more like strategy. If you feel like giving up, go back to basics. Do shorter versions of the tools and let the community know that that's what you're doing. So if you've been doing 10, 15, 20 minutes of meditation and now you feel like giving up, do 2 minutes of meditation a day instead. You know, do smaller versions of the basics. Just go back to watching the videos again, go back to watching success stories again, go back to asking questions again in the community. I did this other video about how to start this process. Go back to the basics of that. And again, check in back with community and say, like, you know, I'm really struggling. What are the basics I need to get back to? Like, can you really help me with some sort of strategy to help me get going again? It always comes back to community. But what I'll probably tell you is to go back to basics when I help you with accountability. Last thing I want to say, and there may be lots more things I can say in this, but last thing I want to say in this video is step back if you need to. You know, I don't want this whole video to be about, you know, you've got to jump back into the pain relief process as soon as you can. I know consistency is very important when it comes to this. And the fact that you feel like giving up, all the emotions that are associated with that, they're not a problem. I hope I've alluded that in the actual video. But you can also step back if you need to. If you're watching this and it really all just feels too overwhelming, there's some unforeseen life circumstances happening, and you just need to just recalibrate, stop doing all the lessons. If it's all too much, take a break, and you can get back to life in whichever capacity that you'd like to. You can check in with the community like every now and then about this. There'll be no judgment. So let's say you're in my community and you say, like, I really just need to take a break for 2 weeks. I'll be like, yeah, take a break for 2 weeks, fine. A lot of people come to me and they say, I've become too obsessed with this healing thing. If that has become you, try as I may to try and convince you, just do maximum 2 hours a day. You may just go, I'm doing too much, I'm too obsessed. And then you just need to take a break, then just take a break, you know. And then when you feel like coming back, check in with the community again. And we're here for you to help you get through. So that's the video. Like I said, I may end up doing follow-up videos to this about some other things, some other support, but I really wanted to do a video to help you if you're watching this and you feel like giving up. If you feel like the process isn't working for you. It's meant to get difficult. You're meant to have moments where it feels, you know, like you can't go on. Those emotions, hopelessness, despair, doubt, they're also emotions that are welcome, and you're free to vent them in a supportive community. And in that community, I'll be there to help guide, support, give you accountability. Like, we can strategize the things that you can get back to with basics. This tends to happen in the first couple of months. So if you're watching this in the first couple of months, know that it's normal, but it can also happen at various stages throughout. You may feel as if you've done so much progress, doing so well, felt like you've moved on and resolved lots of things, and then 6 months in, you're just having a really difficult day. And then all of a sudden you'll start creating all this drama in your head about how it's terrible and you've relapsed and it's back to square one. That's what that day needs to be. There's lots of difficult emotions for you arising in that moment. I've had plenty of those days, but you haven't gone back to square one. It's just you need to just be able to allow yourself to feel those emotions on that day. If you feel like giving up in that moment, check in with the community and say, I'm having this really difficult day and I'm here to support you. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're having difficulty at all, write in the comments below and I'll do my best to guide you. But that's the video. If you have any comments, write in the community or on the comment section in this YouTube video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.